listen up. It's time for A Girl's Perspective, the podcast where girls speak up. Our organization, Know Better to Do Better, is the movement that empowers girls with personal, social, and leadership skills, equipping us for a brighter future. Girls, get ready to speak up because here's our host, the founder of Know Better to Do Better, Paula Vaughn.
You had nothing else to do and you just decided to join us. Well, I hope it's more than that. You should be very, very pleased that you joined us today because we do have a really good program for you. Interesting, when I think about our home lives, that's where your foundation is set. That's where you really become you. What you see around you, what you don't see around you, even has a lot to do with the person that you develop into. And so we're talking to someone today, longtime friend, Dr. Angela Parker. Let me read you about Angela Parker. And by the way, I'm Paula Bond. I'm founder of Know Better to Do Better. And, I'm sorry. Yes, here we go. I am founder of Know Better to Do Better, but host today, certainly of A Girl's Perspective. So happy to have you here today. I'm going to get right into it. Let me tell you about our expert here, Dr. Angela Parker. She's the founder of an organization called Phenom Girls, and it's a nonprofit that mentors young girls of color and empowers them to embrace the phenomenal woman within. Dr. Parker is currently the director of trainings and programs for Genesis Center and is the head of Genesis Youth Initiative Program and coordinates Generation J program. Dr. Parker received her BA in communications from UCLA and her master's in English from National University, her doctor's of education from USC. We are going to jump right into this talk about women who first are girls. What are you seeing? What are you learning? Who are you developing into? Right after this message. Hi, it's Paula Bond, founder of Know Better to Do Better and author of the book, Social Media, Say Hello to Social Skills. Parents, do you ever struggle with what's appropriate and safe for your daughter when it comes to social media and the internet? Well, Mom and Dad, we got your back. Social Media, Say Hello to Social Skills is the book every parent should read and share with your tween-aged daughter prior to giving her a device connected to the internet and without parental controls. Parents, it's time you and your 11 to 14-year-old daughter mastered social media through a healthy dose of social skills. Her bright future may depend on it. Order your book today at our website, knowbettertodobetter.org. That's know with a K, knowbettertodobetter.org. Social media, say hello to social skills. All righty. I am pretty thrilled to have Dr. Angela Parker here with us today. And I'm just going to jump right in. You do a couple of things that are very, very important. We're going to talk about the Genesis Center work that you do there. But I want to start by talking with you about your own organization. And what issues do young Black girls face that affect how they feel about each other?
Hi, Paula. Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome.
I think this is a really important conversation that we are not having enough. One of the things I find when you're working with young girls is, especially particularly Black girls, because that's the population I work with, is that they are coming from a place of lack. They lack everything. However, when it comes to all the negative things, unfortunately, they're in the lead. So, for example, the majority of young women, if you look at statistics, who are in domestic violence situations are Black women. The number of girls who are dropping out of college or high school at an early age are Black women. The number of girls who are being in detention or who are suspended or reprimanded in schools, the majority of them tend to be Black girls. If you look at mental health issues, depression, suicide rates, unfortunately, they're climbing within the Black community, particularly young Black girls. However, they're not getting any of the resources. And, I think it is very important that we focus on our Black boys, but we also need to focus on our Black girls.
Absolutely.
And there's all these initiatives that have come out focusing on Black boys, but Black girls. I think there was a survey that came out that said approximately $1 million has been spent on mentoring and programming for Black girls. And we know that that is just nowhere near enough to really help them with the situations that they're dealing with.
Absolutely. What are then some of the reasons why our girls are feeling this way about themselves and about one another? What are we doing in society that is making them believe it's okay?
So we're doing a couple of things. One of the things that we're doing is we're assuming that Black girls are just going to be okay, right? We have taken on the strong Black woman trope, and we've embraced that. We don't really have to nurture our girls because they're naturally strong and they're just going to get through it and everything's going to be okay. We're just going to leave them be. The other thing that we're doing is that we're normalizing dysfunctional behavior. And, I know that when I say this, a lot of people want to argue with me and say, oh, it's not the media's fault. It's not television's fault. But when you look at it realistically, you cannot tell me that a young girl who has never had a relationship, who doesn't know anything about the world, is not looking at Love and Hip Hop, like pick a city. Yeah.
Come on.
Not listening, right, to rappers saying, I don't want to love you, I just want to be with you, or whatever it is that they're singing, right? And they're not internalizing that, right? That becomes the way that they inform their world. And unfortunately, oftentimes in their real life, they don't have anything to counteract that. They might have a dysfunctional home life. Their friends might have a dysfunctional home life. And so for them, this just is the way that life is, right? This is just, I have to fight for my man. I have to take being cheated on, right? If even they begin to say, well, if they're not doing these dysfunctional things, if they're not lying on me, if they're not cheating on me, if we're not fighting, then something's wrong with our relationship, right? I cannot tell you how many kids have told me, all right, that if there's not some kind of drama going on in their relationship, they think something's wrong, that the other person doesn't care, because they have equated that with love. And we do that very early on, right, Paula? What do we tell little girls if they say, Mommy, Billy pulled my hair? Oh, that's just because he likes you, right? And so we teach girls from a very young age to equate aggression, discomfort, even violence to love, right? And we never, and we keep reinforcing that in small and little ways, a lot of times without meaning to.
I was in the beauty shop, and girls they were flipping channels. Honestly, they were flipping channels, and I didn't know Jerry Springer was still on.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a show about strippers, fighting with strippers, but they all happen to be Black girls. We keep seeing this, and so clearly there's being an appetite built for drama, for us hating one another, but it really starts with the fact that we don't like ourselves. I think that's the message that I feel, that we shouldn't be liking ourselves.
Yeah, there's something to say. When people say that Black women are intentionally put on the bottom of society. The way that we look is mocked, the way that we act is mocked. There's a stereotype that nobody wants you, not even your own men, right. and it chips away at young girls' self-esteem. They don't know who to be. They don't know how to get your attention because they're told the way that you look is not good enough. How am I going to change that? Okay, well, I'm going to get all this plastic surgery. Right, I'm gonna put all this makeup on, which is not. I like makeup as much as anybody. I love hair.
Hair. Thank you.
I'm not
Hello.
being a hypocrite. Yeah, or anything like that. But it's just this thing where you're constantly told from the time that you're a young girl that you're not good enough, and you don't know what to do to be good enough.
So then, why then is mentorship so important?
Mentorship is so important because it gives girls the opportunity to see someone that looks like them be successful, be beautiful, be empowered. Oftentimes, they do not get to see that. I, as someone who works at a domestic violence intervention program, a lot of times the young women who come through Genesee, and they're young women, 21, 22, 23, they have had a very hard life, a life full of abuse, a life full of dysfunction. No one helped them when they were little. No one nurtured them when they were little. And so they just began to think, okay, well, life is rough. I have to do what I have to do to survive. People are always going to treat me terribly. And then when they connect with someone who cares about them, who's a professional, who has a successful relationship, not just romantic, but with families and with friends, they begin to see what is possible. And that's why it's important to not wait until somebody's 21, 22, 23, to get them when they're in high school, in middle school, in elementary school, and teach them their worth and show them who they can be and who they can aspire to be at an early age, because then they start making decisions to help them get there. You know what? I don't want to get pregnant now because I want to go to college.
Exactly.
I want to be an entrepreneur and a businesswoman, so I need to study, and graduate from high school. I can be, the next Beyonce, but not if I'm not out there working and doing what I need to do.
Yes.
And so it's just those things. Mentorship shows you what is possible, and it makes you believe in yourself in ways that you never have before.
So parents, those of you who are listening, those of you who are watching, and you say, you know what, I'm doing pretty good with my own family here, and God bless you, and I'm so happy that you are. But do you have some room? Is there some space? Is there some opportunity for you to mentor, for you to show another girl who otherwise may not have that sort of opportunity? Can you show her a different way? That's what we do here at Know Better to Do Better. That's what you do, Angie, at the Phenom
Girls.
Phenom Girls. Yeah. Give us that a website. Give us your Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, so Phenom Girls is www.phenomgirls.org, and Instagram is at Phenom Girls.
Awesome. Yeah. You also work with, and you have for a number of years, and we're wrapping up here, you also work with the Genesee Center.
Exactly.
Genesee Center, from my understanding, is the oldest domestic violence shelter in sort of this area, in the South Central, South Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
Tell us just a little bit about, and you mentioned before about who's coming through that door, and what are what ultimately is it that Genesee seeks to do so that when you go back out the door, you've gone out a different person?
So we were founded 40 years ago by Black women to service Black women, which makes us unique. Black women, of course, we know we have different needs, cultural needs, just basic needs because of who we are. And so what we do is we offer programs and services to help them get back on their feet beyond housing, so that when they leave us, they can have a job. They have some type of degree or certificate. They have parenting classes. They've taken care of their physical and mental health needs, and they have permanent housing, and they're able to stand on their own. I'm the director of trainings and programs, so I go into schools. I do school-based programming, and I talk to youth about how to have healthy relationships, and I challenge them to redefine their normal, to ask themselves, okay, this is how I'm living now, but is this how you always want to live? This is who I am now, but is this the best person that you can be? And if not, how can you get to the person that you want to be? And so it's really, what we have to do is we have to challenge our kids to really understand that they can do and be anything that they want to. They just have to take that first step, and they have to work at it. In life, I know this is cliche, but it's very true, right? Life is a marathon and not a sprint.
Come on now.
You're going to fall down. You're going to get back up. But as long as you stay in the race, that's what matters.
We are here to help you stay in the race. It is absolutely true. You got to be able to do the marathon. Thank you so much, Dr. Angela Parker. You want to give us any information again, anything on Genesee? Did you want to?
Well, Genesee Center, if you're interested in learning more about Genesee Center, the website is www.geneseecenter.org. We're always looking for volunteers and people who just really have a heart for the work.
Awesome.
And also, if you want to know about me, I also have a website, AngelaNicoleParker.com.
She is outstanding. You heard it, and I am so impressed. I thank you so very much.
Oh, thank you.
We got some work to do, but we can do it together. We really can. Please stay connected with us there on Facebook. We are at Know Better to Do Better, and on Instagram, We Know We Do. You all keep praying because the Lord is listening. And remember, when you know better, you have every opportunity to do better. And we can do this better. Thank you all.
All right, thank you so much,
You're
Paula,
welcome.
Thank you.